I'm Keith Carey out here in Anaheim, California, and we're at this kind of a semi-Ohana internet marketing group here. It's a nice little party everybody put together. All these guys from back east, rocking and rolling, put a great little gig and spread here. And I have come across this young lady, Emily Powell, and she's got a pretty incredible story from what I've heard. And I'm going to interview her here for you guys for a couple of minutes. She's got an organization that she started that I think is going to be blowing your minds out there. And when you guys find out what she's up to in life and the big things that how big she's living in life, it might inspire some of you guys to do the same thing. So, how you doing?
Good.
Nice to meet you. So tell us about what's going on with you.
I'm just trying to save horses. I'm raising money to save them from slaughter, which is for human consumption or because they're overbreeding, or from the feedlot, which is for dog food. And they also get shipped to Canada, Mexico, places like that. And now that American slaughter has been completely disabled, they're all being shipped out. So I'm trying to stop that. Yeah, all the horses, they're just shipping them out.
Where are they finding these horses?
Well, most of them are from overbreeding, but they can find a few that have either escaped from an owner or they're wild.
Okay.
Anything they can get their hands on, as long as they're getting money for it. So I'm trying to raise money and save them.
Okay. And we're going to get into that, how people can get a hold of you and donate to your organization, because I think it's an amazing cause. I'm an animal lover myself. Matter of fact, my sister, I have a quick story for you. My oldest sister, who's 52 now, she just had to give her horse away because she couldn't afford to keep him anymore. And that, I know that broke her heart. As a matter of fact, the very first thing that she said when she was a little girl, she didn't say mommy or daddy. She said horse was the very first word out of her mouth. So horses are really, really important to my sister Cindy as well. And I know there's a lot of animal lovers out there that would be moved and touched and inspired by your story. What we want to do is put this out on the internet so that we can actually help you to raise money for your cause. Okay. So how did you get involved with it? I mean, what was it that got you started? How does an 11-year-old start an organization? Did mom and dad help you, or was it something that you just thought up one day out of the blue, or what?
Well, I had always loved horses, and I wanted to help them, but I didn't really think I could at my age. And then I decided that I wanted to find a rescue ranch and start raising money for it. And my friend's mom's friend had a rescue ranch, so then I started raising money for that one. Before I even got to go there, I started raising money for it, and now I go there all the time. It's really nice, and I just love watching horses recover from being almost slaughtered, abandoned, anything like that. It's just so much fun watching them recover.
What's the name of your organization?
Well, I actually don't really have a name. I just raise money for Heavenly Horse Haven.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. And how much money have you raised so far?
Well, including the help of the Guts Media training team, like about $700.
I think after this video, I think that's going to go up substantially. And if somebody wants to send money to your cause, how would they get in touch with you or your parents or the organization? How would they send their money to you? Tell everybody out there.
Well, my website is where it has a link to the website of the rescue ranch, Heavenly Horse Haven. So it's going to be on the front page if you want to donate. But my website is donate2save.nate.com. And I'll have a link, heavenlyhorsehaven.org, to the Heavenly Horse Haven website, which is where you can actually donate.
That's pretty cool, man. I got to tell you something. I'm a little bit older than you, just a little bit, and I'm really impressed with you. I think you're up to some really big things in life. And I want to know something else. Like, so when was the first time you knew you loved horses? You love dogs and cats and rabbits and things like that too, or is it just your focus is strictly horses?
Well, before it was mostly like about 70% horses, and now it's 100%.
Pretty cool. Do you have a horse yourself?
No, but I might be able to buy one of the rescue horses that I've been raising money for. I might even be able to
That's pretty cool. I wish you were around my sister's neighborhood and you could have adopted her horse that she had to give back to the shelter, which was hard. It broke my heart. I got to tell you, my sister was having a hard time financially, which is why she had to give the horse back. She couldn't afford to keep it. And I found out about it, and I'm not real close with my sister. We never really have been. But when I found out about that, it just hurt my heart because I knew how much it meant to her. And I called her up and I said, let's get that horse back. And she goes, it's too late. I gave it away already. You know, so it's kind of like one of those things. But man, I think you're up to some really cool stuff. And what's the future hold for you? Any idea what you want to do? How big do you want this thing to get?
Well, I'm always going to be raising money. Soon I'm planning on having my own rescue ranch eventually. Like, pretty big one. It's not going to be too huge because I don't know how I'm going to pay that off. I want them to be more safe than plenty. I want them to be safe, sort of pampered to where they're happy. And then once they're all better, they're good enough to be adopted, then they can go off to new homes. Or I'm going to check them to make sure they're safe.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how much does it cost to save a horse? Any idea?
Well, sometimes if it's just being abandoned, then you can just go pick it up. Sometimes the city, if you don't pick them up on time, if you can't pay for it, if you can't afford it, you can go pick them up for free, but if you can't afford it or you don't have room, they just put them down.
Wow.
So, I actually have raised money for a rescue Ringo. I raised all that money pretty much for him. They just barely saved him the day they were going to put him down. He's the sweetest horse, too. It's just so sad that they do such bad things to them. So,
How old's Ringo?
he's pretty old. They can't really tell yet because he was just abandoned.
Yeah.
They don't really have his papers yet. They're trying to look him up. They found out he's a stallion quarter horse. He's supposed to be like all white with a little bit of gold in him, but he's being so eaten up by flies, and he's kind of cut up from the barbed wire that's surrounding him. They completely abandoned him. They gave him like 50 pounds of horse food, and since horses, they can't throw up, so he would have coughed and died if he
Wow.
would have eaten all that. So they really didn't care about him. They just completely abandoned him. They bred him. His hooves were actually starting to curl up and forward because they were so long. So he had really bad hoof problems with his hooves. So they were actually almost put him down because he was so bad. And it cost like thousands of dollars to get him better. He's still recovering on that. They're almost ready to get some shoes on him.
Oh, wow.
He's doing a lot better with other horses now. Before he was kind of shy, just kind of laid down in the middle of his little pen they have set up for him. He's getting so much better.
So, do you know, do they fine the people that abandon these horses? I mean, is there any kind of a penalty or anything like that that happens for these people?
Not really. They can't really track them down that well unless they were like really like devoted their whole day to trying to get a hold of the people who find them. But no, they usually are just focused on bringing the horses back up to